Let me make sure I got this clear. So the same aliens that were supposed to come in November took a detour. Now they coming in 2 weeks. And now we've come to realize that they are 7 feet tall and that they look like African Americans. Bitch, what? What? Who are y'all communicating with? Like the information that you're dropping is knowledge that you would only have if you were communicating with the aliens. So you telling me that these motherfuckers made a planned visit for November, now they say, oh, no, we coming in 2 weeks. What the fuck? And all of a sudden now you know that they look like African Americans? How? How would you know this information? The way these motherfuckers play in our face is crazy. The way they play on the intelligence of the American people is insanity. Cause what?
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So in today's episode, we have quite an interesting episode, if I may say so, yeah? We're going to be reacting to the hilarious reaction of Black Americans. And I'm sure most of you have heard about the news that NASA is claiming that they've seen aliens that are coming on Earth. And
they've not only seen these aliens, but these aliens communicated to them personally.
Right. And they happen to be Black Americans.
No, they happen to look like Black
Americans. Of all the races, we could have Asians, we could have white people, we could have who they just had from Black American aliens, yeah. But anyway guys, we don't have to talk a lot. Let's just watch this and then we come back and talk about it. And also let us know your thoughts and opinion on this, because well, I might say a lot of things. I just want you to watch the videos we've prepared for you first, and then we come back and talk about it, right? Yeah, let's watch.
I'm sorry. But NASA better get the fuck off. Like, it's never gonna be a time in history. I don't think it's ever gonna be a time in history where Black people are gonna be blamed for something. Cause what the fuck you mean the aliens is African American? Wait a minute, and then another thing. Why is they only coming to America? Well, like is they like traveling through different continents, or like what's happening? Like African American. Cause if they come here, I'm not scared. I feel like if they come here and they really African American, baby, y'all need to be scared, not me.
So the aliens are black? I'm not talking about the color. Apparently, the aliens are African American people, and this is not coming from me. This is coming from an ex-NASA employee. So this is Norman Bergrun, and in an interview, he was explaining that they were about 7 feet tall. Then it cuts to like a voice call, and the person starts describing the spaceship. Do you want to know what they said the spaceship looked like? A fucking cigar. Then after it landed, 100 people got off of the ship, heavily armed, and surrounded the ship. Said the people that got off of these ships were a black. They looked like African Americans. They were about 6'4", 6'5". Green aliens, I have more of a time believing that they're like green or something. But African American people, that shit is wild. Like, I'm not saying it couldn't be possible, but the way you described it, and then you say they were in cigar-shaped vehicles or spaceships, absolutely fucking not, guy.
A NASA scientist has claimed that he saw 7-foot-tall African-American aliens, and I'm going to use science, history, and a little bit of religion to explain to you why I think that is completely plausible. First things first, when you look at space travel, you don't want to have white skin. Look at the study that was done in Chernobyl with black fungi and black birds. What they were finding is that The animals with black skin or very, very dark skin, they were surviving and adapting to radiation a whole lot easier than other animals that didn't have that freaking dark skin or melanin. Look it up. See if I'm making that up. All right. So if you're going to do space travel and try to resist the radiation waves that you're going to be constantly hit with, because mind you, the Earth protects us from the radiation. If you're out there in space, you're going to be hit with that constantly. The further that you go. So you got to be as dark as possible. This is why usually when you hear about aliens, you don't usually hear about white ones. And the ones that you hear about that are supposedly white are usually coming from people who you don't trust in the first place. Okay, most times you hear about reptilians, dark-skinned children, and gray aliens, but you never hear about white because it doesn't make sense for space travel. That's first thing. Second thing is, if you start to look into history, you might actually discover they've been here, and that the black people were the chosen people. How could we not have been? We were the first humans. If you look at the story in the Bible about the real reason why God flooded the earth with Noah's Ark, well, this part of the Bible was actually removed. It's called the apocryphal text. There's actually a story about how angels came down to earth, were sent by God to teach humanity and watch over them. Well, instead of doing that, the angels, or the watchers, they decided to breed with the human women to make these giant people called the Nephilim. And they also taught us forbidden knowledge like geometry, root magic, you name it. And the leader of the watchers was an angel named Samyaza. And what did he teach? Root magic. African American, who's the only people who are known to use root magic? That'd be us. I'm just saying, I want you to think about a lot of the hatred that is put towards black people. It's very, very common for, a child to rebel against his father. I'm not saying that you should get a telescope. I'm just saying they've been here. Just pay attention.
Well, according to Harvard, the alien motherships are going to be here in a couple weeks now. They moved it up from November we got 2 weeks. My advice to everyone to prepare for this event from trusted news sources. Paint your roof blue if you have one. In fact, everything you have, make it blue somehow. The mothership is somewhere between 14 miles long and, 14 feet. I don't know, maybe 14 feet's the probes they send out. Tiny house probes. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny that any of these reports about the alien mothership are real. I'm just reporting what they're reporting. And by them, I mean, like Harvard and CBS and shit like that. CIA, FBI, NSA, all that shit.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about that episode in the comment section. Yeah, this whole thing has been trending on the internet, and the question you're asking is, why is it that, okay, they were saying that these aliens were supposed to be coming in November, but right now it's communicated to them and it's coming in 2 weeks. Personally, I'm skeptical. I don't believe this, but I would still like to see these aliens. They said 2 weeks, so let's give them 2 weeks and wait to see what will happen. The question I'm asking though is, why is it that every bad thing has to be related to black Americans, but every good thing has to first be related to white Americans?
Right, and when they say that these aliens are coming and they're looking like black Americans, I do feel strongly that this is how the media influences the mass to fear a particular group of people. And in this case, black Americans will be feared because, can you imagine right now a child who is somewhere in Asia or a child who is somewhere in Africa and happens to come across this news that aliens are coming, and from the description of it, it looks like black Americans. These aliens did not choose to look like anyone like Chinese. These aliens did not choose to look like Koreans. These aliens did not choose to look like Latinos. They only chose to look like black Americans. So my biggest question is, why does every bad thing has to first be a black person from a black community before it is white. And why does every good thing have to be white first before it is proven to be black? Because guys, remember that even Neanderthals were thought to be of black people, and black people were as they were being called Neanderthals, they were being insulted that they had small brains like Neanderthals. And this was until scientists themselves, and they were white scientists, proved that Neanderthals were, as a matter of fact, related to white people and not black people.
And guys, perception is very important, and that is something we have to talk about. But I also have to emphasize that we no longer live in times where a certain propaganda might be spread and people will just believe it. But we're coming from an age where internet was not a thing, social media was not a thing. So back then, you used to get your news from mainstream media, and perception is very important. How they portray a certain group of people or community to the rest of the world, that is how that the world received that community. The perception of them would be what the media painted. And having that in mind, you talk about how this official from NASA who was talking about the aliens coming and them looking like black Americans, and then you think about that Chinese kid in China who still does not know a lot of information about the black community or black Americans. It's still a mystery to them, and that is why you normally see these videos trending of black Americans when they, or even Africans, when they go to China and these kids see them, they even want to touch their skin to confirm, is this really your color, or have you
Can it
touched
be washed off?
so that it can turn back to white or something, because they're not used to these things. So you can imagine what this kind of news or information might do to such a child. Already they're curious about the black community in a not so positive way, and then you add that to, on top of that, you add the information about aliens coming. It's like telling in Africa we used to be told these stories about augurs to scare us. So this is just like, I would liken it to this. It's like telling a child these stories and they'll end up fearing people from the black community. So therefore, all I can say is we no longer live in the ages where they might just drive a certain rhetoric about a group and people to believe them blindly. Right now, people smartphones.
People have started questioning things, and smartphones is even reaching places like the villages, right? It might not be your standard smartphone, but it is good enough for people to get news.
Some
Of
side,
course,
certain type of information.
right, and of course not everybody has smartphones as of yet, but at least someone has a smartphone within a radius of a community, where this person can at least tell the others this kind of news might be real or fake. But then again, this kind of news is easy to manipulate. I mean, it's easy to use this kind of information to manipulate people, especially people who are not well educated, like for example people from the village. So I do feel like perception is very, very important, and since they are insisting that they've spoken to these aliens and that the aliens are coming, well, right now people are just waiting to see when these aliens come out of that spaceship in 2 weeks' time, and how these aliens look. Because also there's another brother who spoke in one of these compilations, and he was supporting the idea that the aliens might truly be black, because in his opinion he was saying in the galaxy, or rather the universe outside the earth, right? Because of the radius, if white people cannot survive on earth because of the radius of the sun and the UV light, stuff like that, how can they survive outside the earth? So this is the idea he was using to support that they might actually have melanin in their whatever the skins, if they have skins or whatever, so these aliens might be melanated.
Right, but the funny thing is that I was going through the comment section of these videos on TikTok, and some people, actually people have a hilarious reaction towards this all news, and some people are asking and they are laughing as they ask, what if this is just a 7-foot NBA player somewhere, that they're saying, it's an alien, because we have tall people, even people from South Sudan, like these people are really, really tall. So how can you say, like right now it's easy to distort reality, because if you consider AI and you also consider movies, like if they can make a whole galactic movie, like there's a character called Roots from that Galaxy movie, Guardians Protector, something like that, but it's a movie, right? And they have all these alien like characters, and they know how to do these makeup artists, know how to, you know, create that illusion. So like, what are you, whatever you have to question yourself, whatever you're being fed, is it really real? You know, being that AI can even distort reality to become something else that someone wants it to be, you know.
So guys, let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.